going, everybody? It's your boy Soul here. Hope everybody's doing well. Alright, so let me just make sure I got everything set up here. Alright, so, hey there, I'm SolarLune. I am an independent game developer, kind of hobbyist, like to make games. And yeah, I am doing a stream right now. So basically I'm going to do a stream where we try to make some progress on this project I've been working on. And let's see how it actually goes. Since the last time that I tried to do this and failed horribly, I've made a little bit of improvements, a couple improvements. One is I cleaned out my computer because the tower was incredibly dusty. I guess it was. It didn't seem like that dusty, like super duper dusty, but it was some dust in there naturally. And I actually never noticed, but I guess I needed to. Basically, I have a can of compressed air, and I went ahead and cleaned off the fans and stuff, cleaned off the inside, and also fanned like the GPU and the CPU, the fans on the CPU. It's easy to forget that stuff because it's like, you open you blow out the inside. I'm sorry, the outside, the fan intakes. Let's see. Banjo Media says, "Hey, could you bring the mic volume up a touch?" Sorry about that. Let's try maybe -8 decibels, maybe -6 decibels. That might be good. So you clean out the back a little bit, you clean out the bottom, because my computer has like a fan on the bottom, so I cleaned that out. That was kind of gnarly with dust. And I cleaned out the inside, but I never actually noticed, like, oh, there's fans on the CPU and on the GPU I need to clean out. Like, that's intake. Dust can get in there and clog it, and that can be a problem. And after I did that, it's basically running silent. Like, I can't even hear it, basically. Yeah, I can't actually hear it. Like, I think on the stream you can hear birds chirping outside my window. Like, it's that. Like, it's gonna be like, you probably can hear my fan running in my room. Like, it's that like quiet now, which is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. I'm streaming. I'm gonna be coding. I'm gonna be running games. I'm gonna be running music and stuff. And it's just a silent computer now, which is excellent. So never forget to try cleaning out your computer. You never know what might happen. You never know how it might improve. So anyway, that's a kind of a nice little story. Let's see. I guess I'll leave the window open for a little bit of ventilation. But if it sounds too loud, the birds outside, because they can. There's some trees outside, so they can get a little loud when they're chirping. So if anybody has any problems, please feel free to talk, say something in chat, and I'll see about making improvements or turning whatever off to make it a better environment. But before we continue, let me go ahead. Actually, I think I have a file thing open. Yeah, let's go ahead and get some music going. So let's go ahead and go to music here. Or no, wait, arguments, streaming stuff, and we'll play some music from the gear and OST. I guess we'll do. Hopefully this. Good night. Okay, it's loud on my side, but fortunately it's quiet on stream. There's nothing playing on stream. Okay, so I'll just make sure that's nice and quiet before I turn it on. And that's probably good enough, somewhere around there. All right, so the plan for today is to do a little bit of more work on the game. So let's see actually what we have so far. So this is the game that I've been working on basically for the past couple of months. It's a 2D adventure game, and as you can see, I did do some work on getting a title screen up and running, which is pretty cool. We have new game, load game, options, and exit. So we'll just go with new game, I guess. And load game does work as well. So we have a character who can move around. We have basic collision. We have, yeah, different zones. Right now, I just map different zones to a key. And a few different maps just for testing some things out. So I have a nice little, let me see, can you actually see my, okay, yeah, I think you can see my mouse cursor. I have a nice little, I kind of changed up the way that choices worked. I think it looks a little bit better now. Now it has, basically choices are grayed out and they turn colored when you actually highlight them, and you have this nice little hand that points to it, which is kind of cool. Kind of a throwback, a harkening to kind of like Final Fantasy and stuff like that. And I'm kind of proud of this hand. Like, it's a simple hand, but at the same time, it's kind of like, what's the word? Like, it's a simple hand, but it's kind of like I'm trying to pay more attention to like my clusters and things, because I never really did too much of that, but now I'm kind of like trying to pay attention to that a little bit more. And I have a nice little blur effect that's done just by kind of keeping track of a array. So I'll kind of show that a little bit. But yeah. So this still works where you can add a choice if you know a flag is fulfilled. So like you know, by talking to this sign, interacting with the sign enough, it adds this little prompt, and you have this prompt here. So this is just for testing purposes. I took out the ability to scroll choices. Because I kind of wanted to do this choice system in such a way that I could reuse the choice system here and on the title screen. And I think that's probably for the best, because they're basically the same. Like, it's almost identical in terms of functionality. There's no reason to make it a different fundamental kind of process for drawing choices. But that means that you can have choices that are too large now. So I have to figure out exactly how to handle this. If I'm going to just have it so that they never get that big, or if I'm going to have it so that the choice dialogue kind of kicks over or goes up, or how exactly I'm going to handle that, I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I might just not have anything that's large enough to really need this large of a dialogue. And then I have a nice little shadow underneath the window, just to make it a little easier to tell that the window's there and is kind of separate. And that's about it. Yeah, so that is overall is working pretty well. Yeah. One thing that I just kind of noticed right now is this, that the choice dialogue here, it has the same kind of line at the top as the rest of this message dialogue. So I think I'm going to actually push this up a little bit just to make it, kind of break it up and make it look a little more interesting. We still have to do a little bit more work to actually add the rest of the tile screen, like a background and the rest of the items, the options. We still have to add a menu in-game. We have to add the actual gameplay gimmick, I guess you could say, of being able to alter flags that you find out. And I still have to actually test out going from room to room. So we'll figure out how we kind of will approach this in a little bit. Let's just do that real quick with the choice dialogue, though. So that should be in here. And this entire game, if you're just kind of joining the stream right now, is written in Go. So it's written in Go, and it's made, we'll do something like this. It's written in Go, and it's made with Raylib as well, currently. Like I said, on the last stream, I think, I was thinking about maybe going with another means of drawing things and getting input and playing audio and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a little better. I think that's a little better. I could probably kick it over a little bit more, too. It's a little... yeah. Maybe a little bit. Maybe not too much. Yeah, I might try like Ebiton or something like that. But I'm not 100% on that. That's something that I have to kind of determine if I need to. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I think that's a little bit better. Yeah. It's looking better and better. Banjo Media says, so Solar, my question is, what do you think of the theme, the music, basically, what kind of music do you think is going to be in this game, or what do you think the theme of the music is going to be? I think the theme of the music I'm going to have is a lot of, let me actually move this over here, so I can kind of, yeah, have it. I wonder if there's a way to kind of like force minimize. Yeah, no, there isn't. I should have a key binding for that. That would be nice. So the kind of theme I'm going to go with when it comes to music, I think is going to be kind of the stuff I've been doing kind of recently. We're going to pin this down here. So that basically the music I've kind of been working on recently has been like kind of electronic, electro stuff, which is great. But then also I've been doing kind of video game music, kind of old school tracker video game music. So let me see, something like this one is like super pretty tight stuff. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. Yeah, Banjo Media says, yeah, I like that one. It was on your wait screen. Okay, perfect. I wasn't sure if I had that or not. I kind of forgot. But yeah, that one is really good. I've been thinking about maybe with this one or maybe like... So I'm working on different stuff. This is pretty sure it's just like kind of like something I'm working on. So the general flow I'm going for is like SNES bangers, like SNES bangers. That's basically what I'm going for right here, and that's kind of the theme I'm going to have. Is like SNES, like old school like tracker music, not chip tunes, not like what's the word? Not music like from NES games and stuff like that. Atari, but like Atari ST computer game music, and kind of like that old school like rockin', like heavy beat, heavy bass kind of stuff for some of the stuff, and I've been thinking about that mainly because I'm working in this particular zone where it's like a city. It kind of feels like it's raining, it's dark, it's heavy. I want it to be kind of like there's a lot of people around, and a lot of kind of like faceless people, kind of like clones in a sense. And I want like a really rockin' like city tune for this kind of area where it's just like. Like I need that like feel, that like awesome like. Dang, this is like kind of rockin' kind of feel, like just cool, gritty. It's not like I'm going for that. I'm going for that kind of style. Let's see. Okay, I'm sorry, I haven't been reading the chat that much. Ray the engineer says, "What keyboard do you use?" It sounds sublime. Thank you. I use a. I think it's a C Storm. It's a CM Storm by Coolum Master Quickfire TK. I think it's called an 80% keyboard, where it's got the numpad and it's got the arrow keys, but it doesn't have, like, the numpad is the arrow keys. If you look on the on Amazon, there's a full length one that I actually kind of really wish I had right now, and like the 80% one, and then I think like the 60% or whatever, where it's just like the arrow keys and then the letter block. So yeah, that's the one I have. Basically, it's the Quickfire TK. Let's see. Lottie says, as an aspiring artist, I know how corny that sounds. No, that's fine. How do you add that little flavor to your beats to make it sound not boring? That's a good question. I do a lot of boring beats. So, like, practice, I guess, is the main thing. Like, there's a lot of beats where it sounds boring. But then, like, I also try to keep around certain, like, versions, like different versions, if I kind of improve on it. So you can hear. So, like, I'm getting better. I think, like, I would say just practice, and like if you don't like it, don't just be like, oh well, it's trash. Like, try to come back to it if possible, and keep working on it again, because like this is another example. Like, this one kind of was trash, and I think I made it better. So like I feel like you like that one. That really, like, it reinforces the melody that I had, cause like. Like, that's there, the melody's there, it's the same melody. But it's just like, I just made it like really a stronger, I just kind of made it a stronger melody. Like, there's other stuff in here. This. You can almost like not hear it. It's like, it's not that strong. So basically, what I would say for like for anybody who wants to make music and wants to like improve on it, listen to the kind of music you like, imitate their stuff. I've gotten, I think, better at hearing music and kind of like seeing how they do stuff, or whatever the case is. So that's always nice to like, because there was one a song by Ultrasyd, 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 The song was called basically colon right parentheses. It's like a smiley face, and I absolutely loved the song. I was like, this is the most insane thing. And then that was like a couple of years ago. Now I listen to it, and it's like it's still awesome. I really like it, but I can see pretty much what he's doing. I can hear it, and it's like, okay, yeah, I can see how he came up with those chords. I can see like, so basically just listen to the kind of music you have and try to like do that. Try to imitate those songs and those styles, and you get better. So if you want to like add flavor to your beats, try to figure out why it's boring. So like identify, is it the melody that's boring? Is it the chords that are expected? Try doing something unexpected. Try mixing it up with the percussion. That's what a lot of the songs that I do that kind of sound cool, I think. The reason why they sound cool and the reason why I like them is because they're not just straightforward. Even though chords are like my weakest point, I think. Like I do a lot of like chord and then the chord up and the chord up and then the chord up and back, or the chord and then chord down and then chord up and chord. Like I don't do a lot of like really mixing it up. I kind of just like stick around to a few different chords that work and don't really switch it up that much, I guess. But yeah, just keep working on it. Let me see what's happening. Like this is kind of like a weird, like you lost kind of feel, but at the same time, like it's kind of modern and stuff. But at the same time, it's not really something that would work in all games. So like even though it sounds, I like it, but it's like I could have done it differently. That might fit a little bit better with this particular game. But it's okay if it doesn't work for a particular game. I'm just making music, so it's always good to make music to get some practice. Banjo Media, did you get piano lessons when you were young or old? Nope. Never did. Probably would benefit greatly from it. So I wish I did or do have lessons. My older brother is really good. He is excellent. Timmy Crown, check him out. He's on YouTube. I think he's kind of just starting a channel. He's on SoundCloud. Check him out. Definitely, please. I'm gonna actually just give you a link there because I really want you guys to check him out. He's excellent. But yeah, please feel free to check him out, listen to his music. He is phenomenal, and I love him dearly. He's a cool guy. He's a very cool older brother. Alright, so let's see. I love bangers. I love bangers. It's sick. Yes, Banjo Media, but bangers are phenomenal. Not enough games have bangers. That's what I guess the theme of this game is going to be hopefully a fun game, interesting game. But the music style is going to be bangers. That's the music style at all times. Bangers. Sad scene, flashback. Your mom just died. It's going to be bangers. Your son, said he hates you, and you're an older man. Your only family is your son. Bangers. The world is going to be destroyed. A hero stands up. He sacrifices himself. Bangers. That's just every situation needs bangers. So that's basically what I'm gonna do, is try to do old school bangers. That's kind of like I want some old school, like just banging awesome songs in these in my games. That's what I'm trying to do. Let's see. So ZRKO says, I'm making a game and its main focus is story, so I'll be needing music. But the thing is, like what Lottie said, how do you make your beats and how would you design music for something specific? Really, I just need samples. Listen, like I said, listen to, like, especially if you know what you're trying to do, like you need music for this particular situation or this particular scene. Look up those kind of scenes on old games or current games and try to imitate that, or movies or songs from actual songs, and try to imitate that. So like if you're trying to do like a really sad scene, then go look up sad scenes in video games or movies and try to make songs like that. If you want to know like what makes something sad, try to study that. Try to understand like why is this sad as opposed to this other song that might be slow or might have this particular key, but it's not sad. Why is it sad? So, it's more to it than like, I can't really say like, oh, just do this and there you go. If you want something sad, do this. If you want something happy, do that. Like, well, there can be more to it than that. So you have to kind of determine like what's a good approach for your situation. Let's see. Ray, the engineer, says that song that I played didn't really fit the city vibe, maybe because of the rain. Okay. I'll have to try that. I'll have to see, try different things. Benjamin says, I just use a 1995 Casio keyboard with MIDI. No, wait, you have MIDI? Oh, dude, that sounds good. I have a Casio keyboard, but I don't think maybe it has MIDI. That would be nice if it did. I have a keyboard on the side. Someone actually threw this keyboard away, and I was like, this is a shame. I picked it up, took it in, I cleaned it off, just like wiped it off, and it actually still plays. And so now it's just in my room collecting dust. But at least it's not thrown away. Like, that's no way. You can't let that happen. Let's see. Mariana Silgoy says, sup, how's it going? So anyway, yeah, so the general kind of style I'm going for is probably going to be something like Fleck Rec, something like Goal. That's loud. And something like that should be, I think, pretty good. Oh wait, that's right, I forgot. This is also kind of like a techie, like a tech. I'm raising the volume a little bit. I'll do it more gradually while it's playing. But basically, this is kind of like a techie kind of feel, like a electronic, futuristic kind of song. Yeah, that's kind of like a cool little, cool beat. Let's see. And then lastly, oh yeah, this was what I was gonna say. This is kind of why I brought this up in the first place. But this song, First Memory, is basically kind of like, actually, let me show this. Let me see. I do have Megazeus. Okay, so Megazeus is oh man, I don't know if I ever did this. No, I think I did. Megazeus is a game creation system. It's like the what's the modern one that's done with Lua? Lexalawful did. It's like Voxatron. It's what's the word? Oh man, I can almost place it. It's not Pico 8. Like Pico 8 is like a retro styled kind of game creation platform, I guess you could call it, where you type in, you make your games and it's got all that stuff. Megazeus was kind of that before that, and ZZT was Megazeus before Megazeus. So like this is kind of like a game where you make games. Like you can make games in here. You can edit worlds and you can add like stuff. Actually, I completely don't remember how to do anything. Let's see. You can add like terrain, you can add items, and the way that the game is kind of made, it's actually kind of like a really simple game. Let me see. I don't have any of the other games, but basically, it's kind of like a really simple, a fantasy console. Yeah, Stepa, fantasy console, Pico 8, Pico 8. Thank you. Yeah, so it's really good. And this song I made. this song it's chill. It sets you right. It's just like it's a really like kind of cool song, and I mean like cool in terms of like it kind of is like it calms you down. I guess you could think of it. I got that I think from this game XXY. That is like the best song for this game. It is phenomenal, dude. It is phenomenal. It's just like it's tense, but then it gives way. But then it's like it calms down, but it feels sad. It's very sad, and it's like it kind of sounds like it's not gonna be okay. Like that's just basically like it's just like it's not gonna all be okay. It's not all gonna be okay, and it's like well that's okay. And it's so sad, dude. It's just oh I love it. I love that song. I think for a title screen song it is phenomenal. So that's kind of why I'm going with this song. Something kind of yeah. And yeah, I don't do slow stuff enough. My songs like even this is slow for me, and this is like double the speed of that other song. It's just kind of like it's not as fast, but that's okay. It doesn't have to. I don't have to be. It doesn't have to. I'm not trying to copy, but it's still I'm trying to get that feel. So anyway, that's kind of I'm trying to like branch out a little bit in the kind of music I make and the kind of music I'm making for this game. Yeah, so like I'm trying a few different things. So I guess what I would say for my for like the style of music would be like yeah, kind of like a variety of music, kind of chill, kind of sad stuff, but at the same time bangers. So bangers. Let's see. ZRKO says, "Hey Solar, this is possibly the third time I've said this in my streams. Where do you get your samples? Do you make them yourself?" No, I don't usually make them myself. I get them from Key Archive. And yeah, I use a lot of Key Archive stuff. That's probably the best. Like if in terms of like free samples that I found so far, I would say Key Archive is like, if you're trying to make just kind of like a generic swath of music and not anything specific. But yeah, if you're just trying to make like music in general, I would say Key Archive is like a really diverse group of samples for trackers. So if you use Sunvox, I would recommend it. That and the Atari ST tracker pack, I love it, but it's all of the instruments are not called what they are. Like you know, it's just like alien. Like what does that mean? Is that a synth? Is that a bass sample? Is that supposed to be a lead? There's no way to tell. It's just like called alien.wave, and you have to kind of figure out how to use each thing. So they're not really sorted. So that's kind of something I don't like about the Atari ST tracker pack, even though that is a lot of really good samples. Okay, Banjo Media says, has your child... Well, I guess... Hi, Millie Bays here with another fantastic offer introducing bangers. Has your wife left you with her 18-year-old boyfriend and left you with the kids? Just add bangers and everything becomes better. Has your child been having a hard time at school? Are kids bullying him because of his huge head? I mean, like, huge. Like, what the heck? Well, just add bangers and those bullies will be turned into friends. I think that bangers can unite people, though. Bangers can unite people. Okay, Astronauts says, what are you using to make that? I guess you mean the song? This is Sunbox. Sunbox is a tracker. It is a phenomenal tracker. I would hardly recommend a lot of people, everybody who wants to make music and does not have a tool already that they like, please check out Sunbox. I think there's a link in the description that says, like, you know, there's a link in my description of this video, of this stream, that says where to get it. It's phenomenal. Please try it out. It's excellent. If you want to check out tutorials, please feel free to check them out on my channel. I have a lot of tutorials, around 20 something parts, that cover a variety of parts of subjects from Sunbox. It might be worth it to start over with those, because I feel like, you know, this is I started making them before I had HD video. So there you go. Either before I was able to do HD or before YouTube was able to do HD. It's been a solid like 7 years since I've been on YouTube, something like that. I don't know. My, how time flies. Okay, phenomenal. So, all right. So we are finally over with that tangent. Sorry, that was like a 30-minute tangent. Let's go ahead and see where we are right now. So we're at this stage where we need to do something with the tile screen, add some background, and that's about it for that. I want to add some sort of portrait for the player character when he talks. I have choices that look pretty good. It's off center, but that's okay. I might leave it like that so that the hand kind of moves around here. But yeah, so that's okay. This crashes right now. That's fine because there's nothing that's supposed to happen there. Okay, so we're good. This is all working well. So let's go ahead and go back to the music that we had. Sorry, that's actually really loud. I forgot to turn it down again. There we go. That should be good. All right. We good. So we're making progress. We're definitely making progress. The next thing we're gonna do, though, let's see. Me Mistake says, this game looks so good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Banjo Media says, yes, please do tutorial. Alright, I'll have to consider it. Yeah, tutorials would be nice. Might be a good idea. I just kind of now realize I have like everything quieter than it really needs to be, but I guess that's fine. If the volumes are fine, that's fine. Yeah, so let me know if the volume's too quiet. Jeremy Clark says, 7 years, no way. Yeah. Yeah, 7 years, something like that. It might have been 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. But, you know, it's no big deal. Mariano Sugoi says, RPG Maker has auto start events. That would be useful. Yeah, that would be useful. There's kind of something, I already have that in a sense. I think I have the ability to make something happen without you having to directly trigger it. I'm not sure if I have a way to tie that down to the map editor, which is tiled. Let me bring up itch. Let's see. Oh, whoops. Kick the time back. Oh, tile got an update. So it's downloading now. Let's see. Jeremy Clark says, oh wow, this is looking super nice since the last time I tuned in. Oh, thank you. Glad to hear that. It looks like I'm making progress. Because I'm not. Let's see. Banjo Media says, the tile screen would be nice if it had a picture of our character and a sea of faceless people. Yeah, that might work. IOPred says, just notice the raindrop splashes appearing above the character probably should be switched. Love the progress, dude. Yeah. You aren't the first person to complain about it. You are the second person to complain about it, I think. So that means that multiple people are complaining about it. Yeah, Boon D says, are the rain splashes on a higher layer than the character? Yes, you are the third person, Boon D, to complain about it. Or actually, you just mentioned it. But still, I know people are complaining about it. Let me do something about it, because I guess it needs to be done. Okay, so what we're going to do, because the way that it works, the weather system works, is that it draws in the level map. Basically, the level map controls everything. It updates the player, camera, the player, NPCs, and then updates the weather. And it draws everything too. It draws the terrain, it draws the player, it draws the NPCs, and then draws the weather on top. Now, the problem with this, why isn't this? Why am I not? There we go. So now the thing that's interesting. The thing that's interesting. Yeah, the thing that's interesting. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So the thing that's interesting about the weather system is that it needs to essentially draw two layers, because the rain needs to appear above the player, but the drops need to appear below the player. So that's kind of why I didn't really want to like do it. But I guess I'll have to. So draw lower. We'll just split it up into two layers. We'll have two draw functions, one for drawing a lower layer and one for drawing the upper layer. We'll go into the weather itself and split this up. Did I call it draw upper, or did I call it something else? So, let me close some of this stuff so I can navigate around this a little bit better. There we go. Oh no. Draw upper. Alright, so the draw lower will draw the splashes. If it's on. So draw splash. So we don't need to draw this stuff. This is the rain stuff. We don't care about that. And the clouds, they can draw a layer. That's fine. So it's just the splashes that we're worried about here. And then it's just the raindrops that we're worried about here. We'll also cut out some of the stuff because we don't need everything else. This is kind of gnarly. But I think that should do it. I think it's working. I think it's working. Yeah. Yeah, it's drawing now the... Yeah, now it's drawing the drops below the player and on top of the terrain. So that's exactly what we needed. I guess actually we need to make sure... Let me just double check that. Okay, yeah, it's drawing just over the terrain, but underneath anything and everything else. Good. So we're good. Alright, so that actually solved that. We're gonna add this as a done thing, because why not? Okay, so that's good. Congrats. Let's see. IOPred says, also set your latency in the live dashboard to lower latency. Right now you're at 30 seconds harder to chat. Yeah, I did notice, not that particular number, but I did notice that the latency was going to be high. I thought that, you know, well, maybe that's okay. Maybe you can, like, maybe that's good for some situations or something. But yeah, that's probably not, like, necessary or a good thing. That's probably not good. So let me go ahead and take a quick look here. Let me actually make sure also that it's 1080p on, okay, yeah, looks like, alright, good, it's 1080p. Alright, so what we're gonna do, Lottie, I just saw on SoundCloud, Lottie commented bangers on homesick bangers on a song on my SoundCloud page. Alright, so, alright, let's do something about this, about this weight. I'm not sure if I can change it right now. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can change that while I'm like working here. Yeah, I don't think I can change it like right now. I think because I'm streaming. I'll have to fix that later. Unless, yeah, I can't change the stream while I have it running. Alright, I'll just have to make sure I do that for the next time. So sorry about that, but yeah, I'll have a lower latency next time. Because yeah, I actually am just streaming 1080p, 30 FPS, so that's fine. IOPred says, heck yeah. Oh yes, love a good bug fix. Yes indeed, love a good bug fix. Everybody loves a good bug fix. Fix them bugs. The Archeo says, I love the title screen in Gear End. I made a similar version for my game. Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. That's cool. I actually don't like Gear End title screen that much. I actually don't like it that much. TBH. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just not like, it's alright. Let's see. I want to do something better for this though. This is I want kind of like to make something that, if it makes sense, feels so good that like people think it's an RPG Maker game. I want it to feel like that solid. Like it's, oh yeah, this was an RPG Maker game, but then they're like, what? You can walk in diagonals? Since when? And it's like, yeah, that's right. You thought it was an RPG Maker game. It's actually better than that. Well, not better, but it's like, you know, it's actually, I tricked you. Like I want something like that, where it's like, this is so much work. I'm surprised that someone did this for an RPG Maker game. And it's like, I actually made the entire game engine myself. Let's see. Victor Necromancer says, gave me $5 Russian. Thank you. Says, hello, Loon. I was wondering if you need algebra knowledge or stuff like that before you go to that kind of engine you're using. Thanks. No, not really. The only thing... Let me think. The only kind of algebra stuff I used was specifically in the player's code. This is kind of like algebra. That might just about be it. Basically determining which direction the player is facing. Because basically, here's a function that Raylib has that gives you the direction the player is facing. I'm sorry, the direction that the player is facing vector is what direction the player is facing in a number, as a number. So like 0 is to the right, 90 is up, 180 is left, that kind of thing. And so that's kind of algebra, but basically no, you don't really need algebra. Not really. You just kind of need to be more logic oriented, and have just a general grasp of math. You don't really need to know like specific formula and stuff like that, but just to know like that doesn't feel right. This you know number isn't increasing or decreasing as it should. Kind of stuff like that. So I would highly recommend working with this process of Go and Raylib. There's nothing wrong with it, or you could go for another one. That's fine. Let's see. Meme Mistake says, are you going to add support for mobile? I'm thinking about it. I probably should make a decision on that sooner rather than later. Currently, Raylib supports, I think, Android, but I haven't really tried too much fiddling to get it working on Android. I know that, what's the word? Ebitin on Go. Ebitin, which is another game framework, that does support Android and iOS, as I recall. So, and web. So that's kind of why I was like thinking like, well, maybe I'll go ahead and go with Ebitin. But I haven't really gone into it yet, even though, because I mean, Raylib's fine. It's just I think that this would be a game that would actually, you know, work well on mobile devices. There's no real, it's not really like input heavy or reaction heavy. So I feel like it would work pretty well on mobile devices compared to Gear End, where it's like, no, it needs to be on computer or consoles. Like that's basically it. But I feel like this could work on phones, and a lot of people I know use phones for gaming. So I might target phones. I'll have to see if I can kind of push in that direction with Ebitin, or if it's possible to do with Raylib. But I kind of want to hit both if possible, but I don't have an iOS device, so I can't even, I guess I could test it on other people's phones, because I know some people who have iOS devices. But I also don't have a Mac computer. So I'd have to get in my computer just to test, and an iOS device might as well, just to test my game on it. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Banjo Media says, hey, Solar, I got an idea. I'm glad. You never actually said what the idea was. What's the idea? What's the idea, Banjo? Ray the engineer says, oh yeah, thanks again for the auto new line code. Help me finish my typewriter code. Okay, glad to hear that. Mariano Sulgoy says, a way to solve this in a generic way is to use a draw int layer function on all objects. Then you can change what the object draws in each layer very easily, i.e. tile map uses layer 0 and you can notice the rest. That's true, rather than the order. But then that would mean that basically, that kind of abstracts things unnecessarily, I feel like. Because basically I'm already drawing things in order depending on how their position. So like if I want to draw something before something else, that makes it draw literally below the other layer, and each draw command is its own layer naturally. If I were to make it so that each draw function took a layer number, that would mean that I would have to basically pass that number into the function. The function would put it into a layer system that would then draw it again in here. So it would be like this. Like I would say, okay, draw this on layer 1, and then I would have to come down here after actually calling all those draw functions and say for layer, or L, I guess I wouldn't be like that. For L in range, draw layers or whatever. And it's like, and then I have to sort them anyway. So it's like there's not really any reason to do that. I feel like I'm gonna have to sort. I have to do some sorting at some stage to get the player to draw over or under things, depending on if I ever get NPCs properly in here. Currently, it's just like not really working. Like it works fine, but it's not really like there. Like this, basically, the player should be able to move behind this bed. I guess a better example would be something like this. Yeah, something like this, where basically if the player were here, he should be standing behind the bed. If he's here, he should be standing in front of the bed. I need to actually do that to get it working. But that would require a little bit more work, because currently an NPC is just this kind of event stat object. It's just this thing. It's just a block. And that basically determines that you can interact with something. But beyond that, I actually have to tie an object, a sprite, to this NPC so that it does know, like, oh, I'm not just drawing in front of it as though it were a wall. I need to actually like sort this object. So I need to figure out how to do that. Let's see. Boondy, Beats by Dre. Beats by Dre. I'm not sure if I get it. Boondy says Beats by Dre. I'm not sure what that's referring to or what's that's like. Advising? Stepa says he said Russian dollars. Yes, I said Russian dollars like 15 minutes ago because it says $5. I'm not sure if that's rubles or if that's Russian dollars or what that R stands for. I'm unfamiliar with the world. Victor Necromancer says, so I only need to understand the language and this engine? Yeah, basically. Mariano Sugoy says it's not an engine, just a framework. Yeah, it's a framework. But yeah, basically you only need to understand the language, Go, which is a very easy to understand language compared to most languages that have a ton of stuff. There's some elements that are harder to understand in Go. It's not like it's all easy, but there's not very much to the language. So I would say it's overall a pretty easy to understand language. But yeah, if you understand the language, and then the framework is pretty straightforward. There's not very much there when it comes to Raylib. You can actually, there's actually Raylib quick reference. Where is that quick reference sheet? Is here. So yeah, there's a quick reference that basically a cheat sheet that you can look over that kind of goes over each function and what they do. Let's try this one, show logo. I never actually, but yeah, you can look over that. I would recommend looking over Raylib. It's a very nice framework. If you're a fan of it, of Raylib, or you only use so often, you don't really need like mobile support. I know that Raylib, like I said, supports Android, but if you like don't really care, if you're like, oh, I only really want to make a computer game, that's fine. Please check out Raylib. It's a great language engine. I'm sorry, a great framework for your possible projects. lots of fun to use, really easy to use. I highly recommend it. Let's actually try this real quick. I just want to see what it is. Yo, that was pretty cool. That's actually really cool. Like, I like that a lot. I feel like it could be faster, and I feel like, yeah, it's so cool though. I like it. Okay. Anyway, I'll see about maybe adding a logo for RayLib if I continue with it. Let's see. Badger Media says Solar a Silent Vox tutorial livestream, although it might be a question field. Yeah, but it would be epic. Yeah, I could definitely do that. I've done Silent Vox tutorials before. I just don't. If you have questions, I tend to answer them, or always answer them, as far as I know. So yeah, that's fine. I've done it before, and I will do it again, probably. Let's see. Ray the engineer says, if you were to sort it as you insert and just preserve that order in the list, I reckon it wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, something like Mariano Sulvoy says, yeah, something like for I 0 to 5 for each object that draw I. What? I'm not sure what you mean. If you sort it as you insert and just preserve that order in a list. Let me take a quick look here. But see, that's the thing, is objects move around. So like, there's nothing really wrong with the way I'm doing it now. It's just that I'm gonna have to do some sorting at some stage. So that means that I'm gonna have to sort by the Y position. What I probably would do is have, like, for the NPCs and players, a specific like depth variable, and then draw them using that depth variable. So I would add them to a list, and then sort them by that depth variable, maybe, and then draw them in that order. Possibly. Even that, I'm not sure though, because Go is kind of like, it wants a list of things that are those things. Like, you can have a list of, like, let's say I have a list of NPCs, I can't put the player in there, so I have to figure out exactly like how I would kind of like sort that. Maybe I would make it so that the player, because it has a draw command, I guess I would just add like depth functions for. I guess I would just have like depth functions for the player and NPC, and then they will both fill that interface, and I would just add them to a list of those interfaces, and then I would call draw on them. So that might work. Me Mistake says, I got the demo and the menu works, but when I select new game, it just crashes. Just wanted you to know, but the menu is really nice. I guess you mean for Kieran? I don't think it crashes. Maybe if it crashes, check the crash log in the home directory, because if it crashes, there should be a reason for that. Sorry that crashes. Oh yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully this game will be more solid and not so demanding. Giran was super demanding. I feel like this is going to be much lighter on resources, not because there's less going on, that's true, but because this is a native game that's made in a compiled language, so it should be relatively very lightweight on resources, which is very nice. Doesn't really make sense that games take more and more CPU and memory, even though we're doubling CPU and memory. That, why? Capital EX, you retracted your message. I saw that. Okay. Yeah, you'd have to use the interface. I saw that. So I saw you retract your message. You said I would have to use interfaces. You're right. I don't retract your message if you tell me something, and you're right. Yeah. It's just, you say, we're on a delay. So you say, oh, hey, SolarLune, you have to, do it this way. And I say, I guess I have to do it this way. And then I check the chat and see your comment, and then 15 seconds later, you retract it. No, keep your comment. That's good. Alex M says, how often do you apply your music theory in music? I don't have music theory. You mean like how often do I apply music theory in music? Like how often do I do it in general? I don't intentionally do it at all. Even though I really should, because I feel like that would really boost my capabilities. Boondy was talking about the headphones, okay. I spelled wrong because of what happened before in the chat. I don't know what you were referring to, but I missed your message. You said the sign and other stuff is above the Rain Splash 2. No, not yet. I have to do something about that. Banjo says try to pronounce this Widowy. Widowy? Literally? I don't know. And then he tries to get me to pronounce something else. I'm not gonna pronounce that. It's too long. Capital EX says, okay, you have to use the interface. Yeah. Interface. Okay. ZRKO says something about Girand. Basically, the final boss got stuck, and he was able to attack without any problem. Yep. I'm sure that's possible. All right. So let's. I am just like pausing so hard on this. Let me actually try to get some work done. All right. We're gonna add a menu. We're gonna add the ability to alter flags. Actual test exits. Let's try this. Let's try the test exits. All right. So how we're gonna do this? Actually, kind of is interesting and works together with what somebody was saying earlier, where like you have to have auto like touch like events that trigger on touch. So we'll try this. So this will be an exit. Where is that thing? Where's the option to change? Oh, here we go. Option type center. So this is gonna be an exit, and it's gonna be the color green. Seems like a good color. This won't have a name. Where's the name? What am I? Oh, there we go. Yeah. All right. So how we're gonna do this? If this is an exit, then I guess we should. An exit should have a couple of things. It should have a code of its own, but it should also have the name of the map to load. So, oh, I guess actually this, yeah, no. Let's see. Alright, so that's a good start. Actually, I guess we could name this as exit. Alright, so these should be linked now. So that's the start. That's not necessarily the best approach to this, but it's alright. Let's see. Jeremy Clark says no theory club. Woo! Yeah, yeah. Basically, there's no theory. There's no game theory on mine. I just do stuff. Let's see. Mariel Sulugoy says maybe type should be trigger instead of exit. That way you can reuse the same type to fire other events on touch, like starting a cinematic. Well, a cinematic would probably be an NPC in itself. So I feel like this should also be an NPC and just have an exit variable, and maybe maybe that's enough. Let's see. Code, okay, exit. Okay. Type NPC. I guess I'll give it another property that indicates it should trigger. Because basically, it's just an NPC. It's just gonna... I mean... Yeah, it's just gonna be an NPC. Because, you know, whether it displays a message and then kicks you over to another map, or just kicks you over to another map, it's the same fundamental process. So Marion Schoolboy says, you probably need the name of the target event or position to select teleport location. That's the code. So we have the code here is 0, and the code over here is 0. That's what connects them. Yeah, I guess I could actually name it exit, just because even though it's going to be an NPC internally, just having a different type here makes it display differently, which is helpful. So I can actually like distinguish exits from NPCs. That's fine. All right, so that's a good approach. We good. All right. All right, so let's see if it actually does like try to put something there. I don't think so. Okay. So we still have to build that in. Alright, so what we're going to do here is just copy this block. Because NPC and exit is just basically an NPC. Exit code 0. Okay. New NPC. Okay. Alright, so the code. Wait a second. How did I... Oh, okay, wait a second. That's good. Marion Schoolboy says, think of a room where you might have many locations. Of course, new locations can be hard-coded on code. I guess you mean can't be hard-coded on code? I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, I'm thinking that what might be good here... It might be better to... I wonder if there's another way to do this. If there's a way in Untitled to like create a link between things easily. File. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's not really. I mean, because just representing it as a string is fine. Just because. Just representing it as a string is fine. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So basically, just representing it as a string, I think is fine. Just because, like, we already know the path. All the maps are currently in the same place in the graphics department, the graphics folder. But if I move them to another location, then they all exist in that folder. So it's fine. We don't need a file path really. All right, so I think we're good. Let's go ahead and actually try implementing this. So to do this, we're gonna make an action that. Now I think about it, how are we gonna do this? It's gonna have to be an action that kicks the player, that begins a teleportation to another location. Menino dos Mem says, "Hi, I'm Brazilian and I like your games. Thank you. Hi, welcome." Jeremy Clark says, "Links between objects and tiled is on the planned/requested features, but I don't think it's in there yet." Oh, that's a shame. Alright, so what we're going to do is add a new flag that basically begins a teleport. I guess actually not a teleport, it would be a transition, room transition. I guess we'll actually just kind of like copy this here. And also we want the other room, so that's going to be a string. I guess we'll say map. Other than that. Oh, no way. Other map, okay. And then we'll just copy and paste this. Copy and paste all of this. Oh, they're both strings. Okay. Let's do it. Oh no, code should be an int. I don't know why I did that. Let's see. There we go. That's better. Return true. Cool. Okay. Can't use type. Function literal type func bool. That's type func. Okay. Yeah, okay, there we go. Alright, so now let's go ahead and it's gonna take a transition function action. Nope. Nope. Okay. Alright, so now the trigger when we actually run into that is to do what the player's doing when I press the A key, which is this. So instead of this particular map, it's going to be a.room, other map. Oh, and that's that piece. And a.npc. It's going to have to have a link to the NPC. There we go. There we go. Just kind of trying to make this a little bit more obvious what's going on here. That's fine, actually. Alright, so that's pretty good. So this should theoretically work. Let's see. ZRKO says, see ya, Solar. Hopefully you're still streaming when I get back. Alright, see ya, ZR. Banjo Media says, hey Solar, when your logo comes on gear and I love that song, how did you make it? It's so great. Thank you. That's a good question. Michal says, I know nothing about programming, have no idea what's going on. It's 2 a.m. where I live, yet I'm watching the stream with great interest. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see. Alright, so you asked about specifically that, the like initial startup song. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I think it's somewhere around here. Soundtracks. Yeah, this is it. So this is basically kind of like the prototype version. I think I started with this, and my brother, my older brother, was like, hey, that sounds pretty cool, but you could speed it up, and like he made some suggestions, I think. Or no, I think it was something like this. I don't remember. I don't know if I have the original one of these. The original version of... I don't think I have the original one. I think I only have the new one. Maybe it wasn't in the old Cairo? I don't have the old Cairo. I have the old Cairo, don't I? Man, I do not remember. Aircraft? I feel like I have the old version of this song somewhere. I just don't know where. Oh, no. Nope. Nope. Nah, I don't remember. Okay, I think I have the old version, but basically... So yeah, that is what Banjo Media is talking about. Yeah, that's what Banjo is talking about. So basically, yeah, it's just it like resolves. That's what makes it sound good, is that it's resolving, right? So let me see if I can actually pull this up with a MIDI keyboard real quick. Yeah, okay, you can see the keys there. So I'm doing A, E, and B. So I guess that's kind of like... yeah, something like that. Something like that. Yeah, so it's like it like goes from F sharp down to F, so it falls down. It's easier to hear if it's the yeah. So it falls down, and it's just I can't really explain it, but basically it resolves. So, and it does kind of that. Let me see if I can actually. I used to be able to do it. Yeah, that's kind of like where I got the idea for it, and then I just like made it shorter. But that's yeah, that's basically. I used to play that. I used to play that. I don't play this little lick that much anymore, but. Yeah, it's just like a cool little beat, and that's where it comes from. So anyway, that's where it comes from. How do I make it? I don't know. Like, come up with a cool idea, a cool sound, and then just like iterate on it. I guess that's kind of one thing that I could advise to kind of help you push into that direction. All right, so let me get back to work here. Move the mic back. People talking about their keyboard that they liked using. Oh, and before I forget, I have a Discord server now, so please check it out in the description if you like hanging out with people who like video games and making games and stuff, I guess. Alright, so this should theoretically work, I think. Now, the only thing we gotta figure out is how exactly to pass this data to the NPC. Because I don't really want to make a new kind of NPC type for this. I guess I could just say, like, it's an exit, something like that. That might be a good, yeah. And then we could just automatically, yeah, yeah, okay. This might work. So we'll just have an exit vehicle here, and then we can just have it set that. Now, what we can actually do is also this, because basically they're the same thing. The only thing we're doing is adding this if exit is true. So we can just do it like that. If over data type exit. And we can delete all this code. There we go. So now this is exit, okay. And we can also trigger. gonna add this here, and let's see. Okay, so what we need to do here is basically allow you to walk into a NPC to trigger it. So what we'll do is say if p.levelmap.npc check p.position. Let's see. Let's try that. Excuse me? What did I touch? Oh, there's a plant here. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. All right, let's make sure that this works then. All right, so I feel like it might be working. Let's see. I gotta figure out. Okay, raylib.get time. It doesn't like that. Search on that. It's probably a much easier way to do this, but I don't remember how to do it. Let's see, how do you convert stuff again? Convert. I guess, yeah, we'll do this. And this would be the can I do that? Tell me kind of like what am I touching? Yeah, it does work. Kind of. Let's see. Wish there was something to kind of like. Yeah, I guess that doesn't really work. Oh well. Oh wait, I can do this. There we go. Alright, well, I mean, I guess I... Oh, nope. Nope. Okay. So it doesn't work, but it kind of does. Let's see. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Because we have an NPC check. That kind of works. But it's working on just a... I see, okay. So collision check, solid check. So NPC check is just a point check. We'll do this. There we go. That'll work. So now we'll just go in here and instead of p.position, we'll do p.collision rectangle. And instead of, it's not NPC check, it's NPC point check. There we go. There we go. Cool. That works. So now what we'll do, since that does work, we can just do this. There we go. Oh wait, why didn't this work? Oh. Alright, there we go. We're good. I think we're good. Whoa, wait a second. I just now read the links. I've been too busy working. Alright, let's see. Somebody said that there's no link in the description? What? That's not out of the ordinary. Let me see. There's no link in the description? Where's the... Why isn't my page loading? Let's see. Where's the rest of my... Oh, here we go. Info and settings. Yeah, I thought for sure I put a link in the description for the Discord. Oh no, did I not? I did not. My mistake. I am sorry. No. Oops. There we go. Alright, so I just updated it, but here's also the link. My mistake. Alright, so different people talking about stuff. Banjo Media says he gets chills, man. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Glad to hear that it's working so well. What's the word? Can't think of what I'm trying to say. Glad to hear that intro music works well. Glad to hear that. Let's see. Mikhail loves Sunbox. Yeah, Sunbox is great. Bundi. Amin Sus2. Let's see. Which MIDI keyboard do you use? Oh, Rashad Z says, which keyboard do I use? Alesis Vortex. The original Alesis Vortex. It works pretty well. I like it, but my octave keys are now like glitching. Like sometimes I'll press like octave down, and it'll kick down like 4, which is not good. So it's not really like stable, but it's good. Let's see. Banjo Media says, hey, sorry, Solar, I really shouldn't be here on a programming live stream. I always sidetrack you to Sunbox, so I'm sorry, everyone who is here to learn programming. I know I would get agitated. Don't worry about it, man. Whatever people want to learn, ask about. Like, you know, I'm here to stream. I'm not here to like, if I wanted a video, I'd make a video. Like, if I wanted something where it's like, I'm going to show you what I do, and you can't interact with me, and you can ask questions, and you will sit there and listen and like it, then, you know, I'll make a video where, not that you'll have to sit there and listen and like it, but like you can, you'll watch. But if I want to interact, then I want to interact. So yeah, please feel free to ask questions. Happy to answer them, and hopefully I can be of use. Let's see. Mariano Sulugoy says, if I am correct, you can still trigger child ports with the interact key from outside. Also, next action is probably called every frame. Not sure, to be honest. You are correct on one of those. Next action is called only when the player's state is not interacting with something. So if he's in a normal state where he can move around and stuff, but once he actually does trigger it, then he goes into an interaction state. So that's fine. There's no issues there. But you're right that you can interact the teleport by touching it, by just like basically poking it. Like that's not by design. So we need to actually add something that basically indicates if it can be triggered. Otherwise. And by default, yeah. By default, yeah, you can't trigger them. But if we do go to level map and we are loading in an exit, then we want to specifically not be able to trigger those manually, which means that we need to go to the player and just say, hey, if you actually go to do this, we just need to make sure that it can actually be triggered manually. Let's see. Stepa says, it's possible to make good music in Sunbox without a MIDI keyboard? Yep. Banjo Media says, yes, I made a pretty accurate Twin Peaks theme on a road trip. Yeah, it's totally possible to make good music without a MIDI keyboard. Banjo Media says, it just takes a bit of, I'm going to guess, patience? Or just, it just takes a bit. Yeah, it can just take some time. But yeah, it's totally possible to make music without using a MIDI keyboard. There's actually video of people using, at least one video of one guy using his keyboard, like his computer keyboard, like just like a really sick. Oh no, that's actually a couple of bangers right there. But basically using his computer keyboard, because in Sunbox when you press a key on your keyboard, it maps to like the first 2 or 3 octaves. Yeah, so like you can actually like get good if you really don't have a MIDI keyboard and you don't want to just like, it's back when like MIDI keyboards were like high tech and stuff like that. I could see you saying like, oh, I don't have the money for it. Maybe it costs $1,000 or something. You just don't have it, so you get used to using the computer keyboard. Now MIDI keyboards, you can get one for $100. So it's like most people have enough money to just get a MIDI keyboard or find one. But if you wanted to, you can use your computer keyboard. It's just like kind of awkward. It's not really, it's hard, but you can get good with it, and like there's a video of a dude just like absolutely tearing it up. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find it real quick, because I don't want to take too much time on it, but I know I've seen it where this dude was like absolutely just like destroying it. Oh snap, is this a dude doing it on a Mac keyboard? This is. This is like 4 FES, computer keyboard music, Sergey Crave 814 demo. This dude is absolutely sick. I don't know how he's doing this mess, but that is the sickest thing. So this isn't the video I was thinking of. This is a different video. So this is not uncommon. Like it's possible to do this and get really good with just using keyboard keys and just like be sick with the keys, dude. Absolutely sick with the keys. So yeah, definitely. If you wanted to, you can. You most definitely can do that. All right, so we're good. I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and try this real quick. I think, oh wait, no. So basically we still have to go ahead and actually finagle this a little bit, because it's going to load the MPC code here. Let's see. How do we do this? I think it's in here. Next action. It calls populate actions. Okay, so this is we only need to do this. Well, now I'm kind of thinking about it a little differently. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because if it's an exit specifically, then it doesn't have it just like if it's an exit, then we populate things differently. I can't do it like that. If it's not an exit, then we populate things differently. Where it's like it's an NPC, it's an ordinary NPC. But if it's an exit, then what we're gonna do is, instead of doing any of these, we're gonna basically just manually add a do it manually, basically like this. What's the action called? What's it called? Go to room. So it's going to be this NPC. The code is going to be the NPC code. And then the other map is going to be the... Oh, wait a second. Yeah, how do we get it from here into there? Oh, we'll just do it like this. Yeah, we'll just do it like this. This is kind of awkward, but I think it should work. Because exits... Yeah. This is kind of awkward, but I think this will work. Let's go ahead and try it. So actually we don't need to do this. Let's put this over here. Let's put this out. Okay. So we're setting the actions here, so it's going to be a go to room. We got the code here. Code is going to be properties. Oh yeah, I can't do it that way either. Oh, I could have to loop through them first. Ugh. This is gonna be a little bit awkward. Let's see. This is gonna be a little bit awkward because we have to get the code to know where to drop the player off, essentially, and then we have to know which other map to go to. So all of that is in our properties on the object that's coming in, but we need to set that somehow on the NPC object itself. So I guess the easiest way to do this would be... I don't really want to loop through the properties again. I should like set them properly on the NPC, but I don't wanna. Yeah, I really don't wanna. Well, I guess we're doing this the stupid way for now. I don't really know of any way to do this apart from like actually doing it the right way, which is fine. I'll do it the right way. I'll do it the right way, I guess. What happened to my music? Let's get the music. Too loud. Sorry about that. Alright, so... yeah, I probably will store the property list on the NPC itself because it can have properties. So where does actually this come from? Is it... it's a list of property, which is... I guess it would be easy to hold the object itself. So this would be a... I don't really want it to know about that. Yeah, it's not really the ideal. Maybe like I'll put this before. Yeah, okay, we'll do it like that. Because yeah, I don't really want the NPC to know specifically about the tile map. Like the tile map itself, like to import that information. It just doesn't really need to know. But we can do this. There we go. Alright, now what we can do is basically loop through this. What am I even looking for? I'm looking for, oh, the tile map. Alright, so, because an exit has the exit. That's the most important thing, the exit. So, exit. Oh, then I can just do this. I don't have to actually have to do that. I can just go, boop. I actually need the code to be set before that. Yeah. So I guess I'll do it like this. This is a little bit of a waste, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Whatever. It's just not. It's not enough to worry about. It's fine. There. I think I got it. Let's see if this actually works. Kind of feels like it didn't work. Alright, let's see. I know that there's an exit there. The code, the exit, the trigger. Okay. Exit, trigger, code, prop. Okay, so that feels fine. Is it because, no, the type is exit. The property is called exit. Let's see. Yeah, this might, let's see, hold on. Okay, so it did find... Oops. Let's see. It might be an issue with this not properly running this. Let's see. I can't actually interact with it, so I think that's something might be an issue with the player not like calling what he should be calling. Okay, so it is touching. Mariana Sugoi says, you should commit changes more often. Yeah. I committed a change 2 hours ago, and then I committed a change last 9 days ago. Then 19 days ago, and then 20 days ago. 20, 22, 29, a month. May 21st. So I started this project basically sometime around May 21st. So not like a month and a few days. Like a month and a week or two. That's pretty good. Pretty good progress for a month and a couple of days. I'm not as hyped and working on it every day like I was. Now I'm trying to like play games and all that stuff. So anyway, and I got other things to do. So let's see. Why? So it is. Well, why is the player still able to walk around? It seems like is his state not being set? Because he should be like stopping dead in his tracks, but it seems like he's not actually stopping. Polyscone says, hello. Hello, Polyscone. How's your day going so far? Alright, well... Alright, 0. Do I set the state somewhere else? No. How strange. Oh. Right, okay. That's right. Okay, because the NPC once it does do this, it finishes up in interaction. So let's do a check to see the action index of the NPC. So 0, 1. If done, next action. Let's see, current action done. Trigger. Okay, so, but oh, I see. Okay. All right, so we just need to make it so that it's never done. A room transition never finishes because you start the transition and that's it. So that might fix it. Let's see. All right, now he does stop, but he doesn't actually call this, I think. Trigger? Let's see. Trigger? All right, so it is running. It's just, I think it can only be called once. I think go to next map is like, yeah, it starts to fade out. So we'll say if L dot fade out. If fade in finished. So basically if we're not fading out already, then go ahead and start a fade out. Is that right? Let's see. There we go. Yo, it worked. It actually worked. Yo, it's working. Yo. Okay. All right. I'm getting hyped. Okay, so that's good. That's really good. What we just need to do is, once we do go to the next map, we need to position the player accordingly. So once we are on code 0 and we move to text map, and then let's see, Polyscone says, why do you deref NPC.current action everywhere? Just wondering because Go should just auto deref for you. Probably because of the way I made it. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I'm not sure exactly why. I don't do it everywhere, just in here. Everywhere else is fine. But basically, if I call a function on it, I have to dereference the pointer, because the functions themselves take a pointer. They take a pointer. Basically, an interface takes. Can I do it like that? Yo, I can do that. So an action is a pointer to an interface. Then I can just. Then I don't have to dereference them. No, I still have to dereference them. Undefined. Action is pointer to interface, not interface. Let's see the current action. Action is a pointer to an action. Yeah, I think it's like I have to dereference it. I can't not dereference it. I should probably figure out exactly why that is, because I don't get it either. It seems like I should be able to just do that, but I think it basically an action. The way I have it set up, current action is a pointer to an action, and the action has these functions. So like they can't be pointers to an act. Like they can't be functions that take a pointer as an action. I have to dereference them before I use the functions. That's what it seems like. But I feel like I might not be doing it right. I would like to not do that, but it's not a huge enough deal to worry about. It's only like in these two functions that I do that, so meh. Alright, so it's working. Nonetheless though, it's working and it's working well. So it does actually take us to another location. And we can come back from that location. So what we'll do is, when we do interact, let's see. Yeah, so what we do is we need to basically, we do have to, well actually that's kind of a hype song, but basically we do have to actually position the new player once he steps through the teleporter. How do we do that? Well, the map itself is existing. Yeah, The map exists. That's pretty simple, because the way I made the game, a map is basically a file, and it gets loaded, but it exists. So assuming that we do call get map in the action here, we can actually position the player in that other map. So let's try it. Actually, we want to get the map. We don't want to just... Oh, I already did that. Okay, so now in the other map, we can actually reach in there and position the player wherever we want. We just have to find the other exit. So, other exit equals... We'll do it like this. For blank NPC in range other map dot NPCs. NPC dot, yeah. So if NPC dot exit and NPC dot code equals a.npc.code, then this is the corresponding exit. So other map.player.position.x equals npc dot they have positions, right? Don't they have positions? NPCs have positions. That's how they exist. They have positions. Don't they have positions? Interact dot x. Okay, let's try that. This will just kind of be a quick test. It's not going to work well at all, but it's just let's just try this real quick. Alright, before I do, Polyscore says, oh, okay, so it's because you have a pointer to an interface. I think with interfaces, you don't have to define them as pointers. Basically, I think anything that defines the function should be okay to use, even if it's a pointer. So if you remove the star from the star action type in the struct field, it would probably auto-deref for you. Let me see. So you're talking about, like, here, right? Like, if I just do that? Nope. Oh, wait. Let's try it. Let me see if you move like that. Yo! No way! Dude, excellent, excellent, excellent. Oh, wait. Oh, but yeah, I need it to be pointing to the action because the actions themselves need to be able to be changed. Yeah, I need it to point to the... I'll investigate this because I need them to be able to be changeable, and I think that these are no longer pointers to actions, but rather basically copies of the action themselves, which, I mean, sometimes they have data on them that need to be changed sometimes, I think. Let me see. Is that ever the case? Yeah, like the wait action has a time, so it has a time that, you know, increments over time, so it has to be the actual action itself. It can't, a pointer to the action itself. It can't be a copy of the action, I think. I'll come back to this though, because I don't want to, this would be nice to not have to do that. Might not be necessary. Shoutouts to Polyscone on YouTube Live. Yeah, might not be necessary. Investigate removing star. Alright, so let's try this. Mariano Sugoi says player's position is Rex top left pointer or center. Yeah, it's gonna position him incorrectly, but I just wanted to see if it actually would work. I think it should. Let's go ahead and try it. Yeah. Yo, hey, yo, hey. It actually works. This is nice. This is excellent. I like there's awkward parts in here because I'm doing stuff kind of stupidly, but there's kind of cool parts in here like this too, where it's just like, oh hey, just put the player in that map where you kind of need him to be, and it's like, sure, perfect. Okay, so then we'll say this is kind of the dangerous thing, though. Oops. This is the kind of dangerous part, though. You know what? I'm gonna make this a little nicer. See, title screen bangers. Alright, so. Alright. Okay, so this should kick him over to. Yeah, that's. Banjo Media says. Oh, he said, look at my question I asked earlier. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay, I have an idea for a game where it's a game like Telltale, Walking Dead, only pixel 2D with music aspect, so could I program it in Python where it's not super slow and laggy? Yeah, Python, it's not as fast as other languages, but it should be fine. You'll probably be gaining a pretty huge speed increase in terms of just like, I mean, like, even though Python's a slow language and it's easy to make a slow game with a slow language, you just have to make sure you don't do anything stupid, and you know, when it comes to optimization, and that'll probably be enough to allow you to make a pretty quick game, like a pretty fast running game, and it'll be lightweight even still, because Python is a, you know, it's just a programming language. If you mean like making it with Python, like with what's the word? Can't think of what I'm trying to say. Basically, like you have, shoot, what am I trying to say? Basically, when you're working with Python, you're going to be working like with Pygame or Piglet. I would recommend Piglet, even though it's a kind of lower level, harder framework. I would recommend it still. Yeah, it's going to be, I think it should be more than fast enough to make your game. It should be pretty quick, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so the problem that we're running into currently is basically you enter this exit from this angle from the left, and you're facing right, and then you come in here and it puts you here, but it puts you over here to the right. So even if you were outside of the interaction square, you still will be outside the map. What we actually want to do is put them here. So we want to control where our exits are, or at the very least we want to enter from the right and exit from the right, which would be, we probably want it to be like something like this, where, you know, he exits from a building or whatever. Let's see if there's something like that can help us. Maybe an angle or an arrow. That would be nice. It's not. There's no such thing. Nope. That's a shame. Point, ellipse, polygon, tile, template, tests. Okay, yeah. That's actually a shame. Alright, well. Oops. So there's no, like, fundamental functionality for pointing an object. You can rotate it. No. Yeah, there's not really any fundamental. What's this? Oh, that's just something to help you rotate like that. Now you can rotate around it. I see. Mariano Sulgoy says you have a problem there when you exit. Players could be facing left instead of right, or maybe create a new exit. Yeah, that's true. I think you might have like one frame where you can change the direction. I mean, that would allow for some pro strats, but basically, I think you might have like one frame where you can trigger the exit and then possibly turn left. That actually might be impossible. Let me see. But like if you hit the exit from the top, like facing down right, you would respawn here, down here, rather than to the right. So what I will do probably is just make it so that like whatever side you enter from is the side that you're gonna be pushed out of. Because it doesn't seem, because I mean otherwise I'd have to make a corresponding exit, like 2 exits, or this, like, yeah, it would be more work. But this is working. This is working fine for a beginning. I think it will work if we just do something like this. So you exit, enter, you exit. Yeah, we'll position this a little bit out so we can actually see this a little bit better. See how it interacts with things. Okay, so it just needs to be a little bit further out. Let me see. Let's get some debug in here so I can actually see how this works. I should add a key binding for debug. Whoops. Alright, that works, but... Oh, what? Why? Oh, it's interaction thing. Oh, it's not moving its interaction. The rectangle. The player's collision rectangle, okay. Right, okay, that makes sense. Actually, before I do that though, let's try to fix this so that he actually, like, is where he should be. Because he's off. So it should be plus om dot player dot width number 2 and plus the height divided by 2. Okay, so that should center. That should hopefully center him. I didn't like that because it is a float 32 that's needed here. I guess actually we could just do this. Alright, now it's properly centering him. Alright, that's good. Oh, what? Isn't like that? Oh, it's an input. Alright, let's try that. See how that goes. What? Oh, wait, yeah, what? Oh, okay, I got it. Alright, so we're actually, this is actually almost done. Once we trigger this, go to the next map, and it actually does start the fade out. Let's see, main. Once we actually do trigger, like set the map, change the map, we probably don't want it to be that way going back. So we say if m next map equals current map next map ready. If next map is not equal to current map equals next map, but current map dot player dot state equal player. Alright, so this should basically make it so that it doesn't like get stuck like it just did. Yo, what? No, what? Okay. Let's see. Next map ready. L dot next map equals nil. N equals next map. Why is it still fading out? Oh, I see. So it's done if let's see. This is done. I don't need actually. This is done. This gets done eventually, which is after the maps changes. Banjo Media says, "All right, see you, SolarLune. I hope you figure out your teleportation magic. Good night. Thanks for another epic live stream. This music is great. Thank you very much, and thank you for stopping by." Mariano Sulagoy says, "Previous map is still loaded on memory, I guess." Yep, and it's rerunning last NPC event. Exactly. So we just have to make sure that it finishes this event at some stage. So once it triggers, it's done. So I guess we'll just do something real simple, which is like triggered. Cool. And we'll just say like a.triggered equal true, and then we'll just say done if a.triggered. And then reset is setting it back to false. Alright, so this is kind of lazy, but I think it should work. Alright, it's working kind of. It looks like... Why is he able to... Oh! I see. Right. Okay, so then no, this won't work, because we need it to basically hold out until the map changes. Oh man, that means that... Because it basically... The NPC, like, once it's done, goes ahead and sets the player's state back to normal. That's it by intention, we do want that. Oh, I can do this. Alright, I got it. Let's undo this trigger thing. We'll just do it like this. Once it does this, once we do this, we'll end the interaction on the NPC. But we specifically don't want the NPC to clear out to reset the player's state. So we'll add a boolean to do this. Or no, we can just check to see if it's an exit. So if it's an exit, if it's not an exit, then we don't, because if we're exiting, we don't want it to basically like reset the player's ability to move. There we go. This actually works. Whoa. That's a zip. That's a zip, boy. That's a zip, boy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright, so that's really something else. Mariano Sulagoy says, "Did you set player's interacting flag to false before swapping maps?" I did it after. Yeah, I did actually. I did. Right here. So once it actually, before we actually change maps, we reset the interaction state. Alright, so this actually seems like it should work. That's good. That actually works pretty well. The only thing is... Hold on. If you come at it from an angle... Yeah. So, like, you can come at it from an angle and kind of, like, reposition yourself. And obviously that's just there. So this is a couple things. One, we don't need to basically say, like, oh... it should always spit them out at this particular like direction, because you should theoretically only be entering and exit from one direction, right? Like if you go through a doorway, you should only be able to get there from this angle. So there shouldn't really be any situation where you can get around to another, like, to enter the exit from another direction. You know, like this is a normal doorway where basically you know, can only really approach it from one side. This is a little bit different because you could theoretically hit it from the corner there. That's actually, yeah. That could theoretically happen. This could happen, where you hit it like that. So how would I tell if you need to hit to the right or left? Actually, that's kind of bad design because you could theoretically walk into it accidentally. So as long as it's always a doorway, always is like this, where basically you can only approach it from one side, or like this, where you can only approach it from one side, you should be fine. So I think I'll just do it from that, in that way. How did I get tiled to crash by deleting that object? Yeah, what? Okay. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's like, this is kind of your typical doorway where you can you walk in and you touch it. I need to basically that's kind of a way to do it. Mariano says use a custom property to choose exit facing direction. I don't wanna use a custom property to determine facing direction. I feel like that's a waste of a property, and that makes things more cumbersome than it already is, and it's already kind of cumbersome. I don't really want to do that, even though that's probably the best solution. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Can I copy objects between? Oh, I can. That's cool. Oh, that makes things pretty simple. Nice. Yeah, a custom property to determine facing direction would be best. A text like UDLR, ULDR, LR, UR, right? UD, whatever. I didn't say it all. UDLR, UR, DL, and DR. Yeah, that would work. That would solve your current door too. Yeah, that would solve the current door. But I mean, I don't want to have to add that. Maybe that would be best though. I guess so. I'm literally just sitting here like thinking. If it's empty, it just works the way it does right now. Yeah. I mean, but I can't. I'm like, on the one hand, I don't want extra code in there, and on the other hand, like, the way it works now isn't that useful. Like, it's kind of jank as it is. I recognize that it's jank. It's just like, do I really want more code to get it working the way I want? And the answer is probably so. Let's see. Polyscone says, if you don't want a custom property, I guess the other way would be to use different tiles for different doors. Then you could layer them on top of each other if you need different directions. That might be more cumbersome, though. Mariana Schoolboy says, the other way is having exit and entrance events. Yeah. And place one next to the other. That might work. That might be a little bit better. Because then... Because, I mean, it's easier, I think, to copy and paste something to be where you want it to be than to, like, say, like, direction Well, once I get it working for one, I shouldn't really have to like do too much for the rest, though. That's all the other on the other side of things. But then again, I might want one-way doors. That's also a possibility. That's actually a real possibility, that I might want a one-way door where you can go in on, you know, let's say you go in a door and then you're there and the door quote unquote closes behind you and you can't go back out. So rather than making another boolean that determines if on the exit object itself, on the NPC itself, to determine if the exit can be interacted with, it might be better to make that might be better. That might be better. So maybe instead of an exit type, because I really do like the color system. It'd be nice if there was a way to make it a different color. But that only works by type. What is this? Oh, snap! I had no idea you could do this. So certain types will automatically have custom properties. That's actually really useful. I don't need it for this. Oh wait, can I like... Snap, I can override it? Oh my goodness. That's actually kind of useful. That's actually kind of useful. Because the exit would be different each time. But if it's an exit, then we want it to trigger... Yeah, we want it to trigger. So we can just get rid of the trigger booleans there. And add that to the object types editor. Yo, that's cool. Does it actually like work? Does it actually like work like that though? Can you like... No. I kind of thought that might be the case, because no. Oh wait. Okay, wait a second. Let me, because I can't quite tell. Okay, that works. I can't quite tell if this is like... Alright, I deleted it. Let me see if it... Does it save? Maybe it just didn't save. Yeah, for some reason it doesn't... That's kind of jank. It doesn't save if it's a default thing. That's... What's the point then? Like, why even have it here if you can't... If it doesn't actually work? That's kind of weird. I guess... Yeah, I don't get that. I guess that it might be something that the importer is not doing right. Alright, well, that's fine. I should, like, properly add that. But anyway, we'll just do it like this. Trigger. Alright, so... Yeah. Oh, wait. Snow Bazera says, you have multiple engines listed, but this project is strictly Go Raylib, right? That's correct. Polyscone says, using different tiles would mean you can make each direction go to a different place as well. Yeah, I think the dual... Polyscone says, maybe the default didn't save because it already existed in the world. I don't think so. I think it's not properly importing it. Let me see. Because like if I go ahead and add... We'll just do something simple here. Yeah, like it's not giving the prompt to save. I don't think it's really like... Like, this should save SDF. But I don't think it is. Let's see. Either it's not saving or it's not loading. First map. Whoops. I don't need this anymore. First map. Is it here? I can't... exit as code, exit, and trigger. Yeah, why is it not saving SDF? That might be a bug in the actual program. Let me see. I'm gonna have to report that. All right, well, I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit later. But yeah, it seems like it definitely should have that there, rather than not. Unless maybe I'm misunderstanding how this is supposed to work. If I create a new one, it gets all the defaults. I don't think so. Let me see. I don't think so. Oops. Oh wait. Yeah, exit. Exit. Yeah, there's nothing in here. Yeah, there's no, it's not saving the property. It should be saving the property, I think. If this is supposed to be like a default, if it's just supposed to be something that you can click to add it in there, that's not that useful. I mean, it's kind of useful, but it's not really that useful. I feel like it would be better to basically allow you to have that be as a default, where you don't have to specify anything; it'll just be there, and then you can override it like that. But like, if I don't specify, it should just exist, just like it's existing. It should basically, quote unquote, be a property. But yeah, it's definitely not actually like adding that property to the object, because it should be there. Yeah, so I feel like that's a bug. I'll see if I can report that on GitHub for tiled and see if I can get that fixed. Because I feel like that would be really useful for this situation where a lot of things like exits have the same core format, where it's like, you know, they point to a string, they have a code, and they all have trigger on. They're all going to have trigger on. So I feel like that would be nice to be able to be like, oh, it's an exit, and it'll just be like, okay, I'm gonna turn trigger on. I'm gonna give you a code property. I'm gonna give you an exit property with the string. Ray the engineer says. Oh wait, Miriano Sugoi says maybe you have to read. Yeah, maybe you have to read customer property from somewhere in the NPC type instead of the NPC itself. I suppose it's not saved to reduce disk space or something. Yeah, it definitely seems like it's not in here. Maybe it's somewhere else. Let's see. Nah, SDF is just not in this file. Maybe it's somewhere else entirely. It could be somewhere else, just because theoretically, because maybe it stores it somewhere else. Like, I'm not sure how testmap TMX has the object types I define here, and firstmap does as well, because I don't have that anywhere. Like, it's not in here. The only type is it being exit is here in the actual TMX file itself. So maybe this is stored somewhere else. I can believe that, but that, I mean, yeah, I mean, ideally I want to go ahead and like have that actually where I can like create a new object and have it be an exit type, and it'll just add this stuff as defaults. Mariano says, you have some kind of project file? Nah, this is the project file itself. I mean, this is the project file. Maybe, you know, firstmap.tmx. Maybe it's storing data elsewhere, but I don't see any real location for that here. Nah. I'm not sure where it's storing this stuff. But it seems like it might be a bug. I'll either report it and be wrong, or I'll report it and be right. So that's just, hopefully it'll get fixed. Actually, yeah, I guess that's a good test. If we reopen this. Okay, so yeah, it definitely still exists as like knowing it's not there as a property, but it's not really like exposing that data. I guess it's just. I mean, like that's kind of useful, but like if I go ahead and like say, oh, I want to change this from SDF to like, you know, QWERTY, now it becomes another property. Like rather than renaming the SDF I have here. So if I make 100 exits in my game, and then I say, oh, actually, I don't want it to be called exit. I want it to be called something else. I can't just rename it. I have to go and rename each one. That's not useful. So yeah, I gotta see how they like intended for this to be used. I feel like that's a really cool feature, but it's just not like working. Unless I'm misunderstanding what it's used for. Anyway, let's see what else we can do. Alright. So, where are we at? Okay, that's right. This might be like the last thing. Let's see if we can get this that like we can position another one. Like the out. Like here's the in and then there's the out. I'm gonna do this, I guess. It's actually crashing it each time I press the delete button on an object. Wow, okay. So maybe... Okay, I can delete that one, but... Alright, I can delete... It's so weird. It's like I can delete the other one. Oh, it saved it. Alright, well. Okay. It's a weird bug there. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I can cut, but I can't delete. That's the weirdest thing. Like, what's fundamentally the difference between cut? Like, isn't cut just delete plus one, so to speak? Like, it's just delete plus cut beforehand, copy beforehand. Alright, well, whatever. That's fine. Mariano Sugoi says, where does tile save the type data? I can only imagine it saves it in something other than the project file itself, because it seems like it's shared between TMX files, which is really useful. But yeah, it seems like that's where it must be saving that information. I mean, it must be saving it apart from the project file, because it's not being saved in the project file. And that's the only file that gets shared, that the project has, that this map has, is the map file and the tile map. Which version of tile am I using? 2018 June 27th. So that's not very old at all. It's just a couple days old. It just updated. So maybe this bug is just in the current version, and it wasn't there before. Let me also do a quick check to see if crash with control Z exists. That's not. I see. Okay. Well, I'll see if maybe I can report this as well. All right. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. So the current idea that I guess I was going to go work with is basically if it has an exit string, then that Snowbazera says bleeding edge or stable. This should be stable, I think, because this I didn't. This is just off of itch.io. I think this is just the stable build. So the way I was planning to do this was basically if it has an exit string, then that means it's going to kick it over to a that's an exit exit But if it doesn't have an exit variable, an exit property, then it's an entrance exit. That's where it's going to be received. So let's try that. So, wait. Yeah, okay. So let's try that. So let's say this is code 0. Well, they'll have to have different codes, wouldn't they? I guess, no, yeah. I guess that's fine. So code 0. Well, we can just have it be, yeah, code 0 and code 1. So 0 has no exit, 1 has an exit. 1 has no exit, 0 has an exit. This is awkward though. That's a little awkward. Is this the best route? I feel like this should work. This should be pretty good, I guess. Okay, I guess I'll do something like that, because an interest doesn't have to be an NPC, it doesn't have to be interacted with, it doesn't have to have a trigger, it just represents a point, which means I don't have to have that, I can just use an actual point for this. So maybe we could do something like this, so we go to layer, oh, I'm sorry, object types editor, we're going to have it be an entrance, have it be green, give it a code, it's an integer rather. That's so jank. Weird. Alright. Marion Silgoy says, I think that's a little uncomfortable workflow. This isn't that bad. At least I can distinguish them now. At least I can distinguish them. It's not very comfortable, no, but at least they're different. They look different. So an exit is a block. The entrance is a knot. It's got a code. So yeah, this code 1 leads to over here, so then we have this code 0. Why? Alright, I'm just... Yeah. Is this the best course? Let's see. I'm just thinking. I'm like just hardcore thinking. Yeah, this is not bad. Let's try it. Let's try this. Let's see just how bad this is. Let's just see how bad this is real quick. So 0 leads over here, 1 leads over here. Okay. Exit. Entrance. Alright, so this might work pretty well. So let's try it. We have to actually find that though. So I guess what the easiest way I'm gonna do this, because I don't really feel like doing this right, is I'm just gonna be real lazy and just like store the tiled map data. Oh, the tiled map data is already there, so I'm just gonna be real lazy. Do you sense a theme? For blank obj and range om dot tiled map dot object groups dot for group for obj blank obj and range group dot objects if obj dot type is equal to entrance and obj dot code properties. Oh geez, wish this was a map. For prop blank prop in obj dot properties if prop dot name doesn't what? Oh, range. That's what I'm missing. If prop dot name is equal to code and a dot code is equal to prop dot value, then this is our new location. Int and string. We're gonna convert it to an int. A to I. Turns the integer and the error. Okay. So let's try this real quick. So then this is going to be the new location. Oh, you know what? You know what? I just came up with something that actually might make this a little bit better. I don't need a code. I can just use the name. That way I can see the number. That might be better. So we don't actually need this. Then I can actually see the code by the number itself. That's helpful. That's actually pretty helpful. That might be better. Because I mean the code is the identifier anyway, so we got 0, and then there's the point. You got 1, and there's the point. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Prop dot. Oh no, wait. Obj dot x. It doesn't like that because x is a float 64. This is a float in 32. This should be a 32. What am I? Oh, because they have to be full. Alright, so this, maybe these, there, okay. Alright, so then we don't need it code, right? Because it already has the entrance. We just need to know if obj.name. So yeah, we don't actually need to loop through props anymore, because we just need to know if it's an entrance. So if the name, we'll try okay. If okay, and a.code is equal to converting obj.name. Code is equal to C. C okay. There we go. I think that might fix it. That looks better now. You can even use readable names like to city even. Polyscone says, I found an issue with the title GitHub about object type values in the object type editor. It says this is intentional to avoid an overly verbose export. Excuse me, the idea is that these defaults will usually be already part of your game. What? That makes no sense. That is bananas. That is so bananas, because the entire, if they were already part of my game, then okay, how do I load the defaults that are already defined in my code into this box? It also says, if needed, you can read those defaults from the object types.xml file. In the latter case, you'd place this file somewhere in your project. Okay, that's a little bit better, but is there some way to basically have it load in that .xml file somewhere? I don't know. I feel like that's that's kind of I don't know. That's kind of good, but at the same time, if I place some file somewhere in my project, how do I load it in then? I have to see about that. I'm skeptical. I feel like that can be a good workaround or middle ground, but I feel like at the same time I should be able to get that option. And I feel like that just, like, tiled already exports the properties for each object in the data. Like, just do it. Like, it already does it. It's not like it doesn't do it. It does it. So why are you trying to say, like, why not you? But why are they trying to avoid an overly verbose export? Just do what that's what I want, is an overly verbose export. So give me the option. It already is exporting the data. What's the difference between it exporting all the data and exporting some of the data, and then making me write code to import part of the data when it just doesn't make sense? I don't agree. I don't agree. Polyscone says, I think they mean that tiled exports an object types.xml for you for each map. I don't think so. That's not what I see here. Yeah, it's not in, whoops. It's not in here. Yeah, I don't think it's in my project. I think it's somewhere like in the tiled folder. I think it might be in like the tiled folder itself. It might have like an object types, because it seems like it's there for all of my maps. So yeah, I don't know about that. I take offense. I take a little bit of offense. I take a little bit of an offense. Not a huge amount. Not a huge offense. But like kind of offense. Just a bit. Just a tad of offense. Alright, so what we're gonna do then is go back to level map and we're going to set the code for this bad boy to be, actually you can't, yeah, to be the attempts to convert the name to a... Actually, I don't use that. So I guess I can just do that. We'll try that. Yeah. If prop.name equals exit. Found. Let's see. Alright, so yeah. That works. That's not gonna work. I need to get A down. I want to see what... Is this not working? Let's see. First map. Oh. Oh, whoops. Test map. I guess that's stupid. I don't need to add TMX. I already know. I'm talking about TMX files. This, of course. Alright, so let's see actually if this works. We're going to put this over here where it's like super obvious if it's working or not. Crash. Let's see. It doesn't like something. It doesn't... Oh, oops. Oh, snap. Marion Zulay says, why convert to int? You can just compare strings, can't you? Yeah, you're right. My mistake. That would just mean that I'd have to make a new thing for this. So we'll do this. We'll make exit a string. Then, in level map, we can just have exit be this. And then that means that in here, we don't actually have to compare. We'll just have it blank check. That's the default. And then blank. And then over here, we can just check to see if a.exit is equal to obj.name. Oh wait, a dot npc dot exit is equal to obj.name. So maybe like this. Something like that. Let's try this. ZRKO says, oh hey, you're still streaming. Yup. I feel like we might have gotten it all squared away. Yo, let's go. I think it's actually working. Yo, oh, I'm stuck. No, don't go. Why am I stuck? Why was I stuck? Let's see. Alright, well we know it's setting the player's thing there, so that's not the issue. Let's actually test this out real quick. Let's just do a quick test of the simplest sort. We'll do it like this. We'll go to first map, and we'll just make this 0, 2. Why am I still stuck though? Wait a second, what did I do before this? Like, when I had that all... I'm just gonna copy this real quick. that was actually like the actual code that actually worked. Let's see. We don't need the facing. We don't need the position. Do we need the position? We need the position. Yeah. We don't need the facing. We just need the positions. Yeah, OBJ has an object, so yeah, it knows what it is. Let's see. Yeah, okay, OBJ does. Alright. It doesn't like that. Float 64 and in32. Why is this not? Why is it float 30? Float 64, dude. Oh, whoops. In 32. Mariano Sulugoy says, did you block character movement on first map before exiting? I don't think so. Let me see. I don't think I'm doing anything weird. Alright, so it is positioning him better. Oh, actually, that probably should be, whoops, that probably should be minus. The position's a little bit off. Yeah, it needs to be minus. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's correct. Yeah, I still can't move him though. Let's see. The only reason why he can't be moved is because his state isn't normal. So let's see. Do we, this runs, because we do switch. Oh, well, yeah, we don't. Okay. Well. Well, what if I... Oh, whoops. Polygon says, don't know if you saw the link earlier for the action interface pointer example, but here's an updated link because I forgot some stuff in the last one. Oh, thanks. Let me grab that and put it in my browser. Alright, I'll have to check that out. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alright, so Snow Bazaar says, how do you like Go and relib versus libgdx in Java? I like having no like runtime. That's nice. Where it's just like it's a compiled program. I don't have to like distribute Java with it. That's nice. Although, you know, Java made it pretty simple. At the same time, you know, I like just having like it should just work. There shouldn't be like too much more to it. Let's see. Why isn't this working real quick? Okay, there we go. What the heck? It wasn't working before. Yo, it's working. Hey. Yo, let's go. This should allow it. Yeah, I think this should allow it to basically be used the way I was using it before, where like this might allow it to be able to teleport to the same location in the map. Although that might be better with a different kind of setup, but we'll just test this out. It really doesn't like that. First map. Why doesn't it like that? Is it because it's this? Okay, that works. Doesn't like it, but it needs to. Let's see. Let's try that. Let's see if this works. All right, it's at least it works. Okay, at least it works. All right, I'm pretty satisfied with that. I wish this actually like properly had undo. But basically, it's basically what we need. Yo, let's go. Ariana Schoolboy says, I'm not sure what you did to fix this. I'm not sure either. It just kind of started working. Mariano says, wait, you can have several objects with the same name on the same map? Is that valid? Yeah, it looks like. That reminds me, though. If I do have objects with the same name... Okay, yeah, it has to be a type, though. So I could do something kind of crazy. Well, this is kind of like jank. Basically, like... Yeah, this is fine, because basically this is supposed to be used to, like, go take you to another room, another map. Using it to, like, teleport the player in the same map makes him, like, jump around, so it's not really supposed to be used like that. So I might, like, fix this so that it can be used like that, but not at the moment. Yeah. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. One last thing. Couple last things. One last thing. You know what? A couple of last things. One, I want to make it so that you can enable debug on command. So if raylib.isKey pressed, raylib.key, we'll say F1, I guess. Debug. And well, that's a constant, so we can't do that. All right, so okay, debug mode. What? Undefined raylib.key. This is stupid. I'm doing this the slow way. Debug mode. There we go. Alright, I think we're good to go. Yo, let's go. Yo, let's do this. Yo, it's like a real game where you can like actually see stuff when you need to see stuff. Nice. Let's do another thing, which is let's see. Debug mode. Oh, it's because it's NPC draw. Right. So if we do and exit. I guess actually it should be something like this. Yo, now I should actually like look. Yeah, it's green now, so we know it's an exit. This is an NPC. This is an exit we can walk into, and now we're in this map, and now we're interacting with stuff, and everything looks cool, and we can move over to this exit, and it takes us over here. I need to draw the actual points, but I don't know if I actually want to do that. Yo! Jeez Louise. Well, this was quite a stream. This was like 3 hours almost. That was a lot. I'm pretty satisfied with this. This is a lot we got done. And I was working on a little bit before I even started. That's me triggering the manual teleport, manual room scene change. But yeah, the actual game's like shaping up. I kind of want to like do a nicer, cooler transition than that. I think I have like one in mind that's kind of like a Final Fantasy, like old school Blur, like super slow, like kind of blend. I gotta see if I like how I want to do it though. I'm gonna put it on the to-do list. But we actually did implement exits. Add a more stylish room transition. Something like FF, old school, frame buffer, blur, and Pokemon. Cool. The hand pointer looks weird. I will not have you downplay the hand pointer. The hand pointer is excellent. I love the hand pointer. I like it. I mean, there's only so much you can do. I like the hand pointer. I think it's pretty cool. If you don't like it, I'll see about maybe finding a better thing. But basically, it's pretty awesome. I like it. It does its job, and it's super iconic. Mariano says, "Oh, it has some kind of trail or repetition while you switch option index." Yeah, that's by design. I thought it would look cool. I think it looks kind of cool. Alright. I think I'm done. Alright, yeah, I think I'm done. I did a pretty good job, I think. So thank you very much for watching. It's been a long time, but it's been pretty good. We've been fixing stuff, adding stuff, implementing things, just doing work and making cool stuff. So thank you very much for sticking around and for sticking with me for the past few hours. It's been real. If you want to support me, support any my videos and things, please feel free to go ahead and check me out on Patreon, on itch.io, on Steam, on Bandcamp. I would greatly appreciate it. But otherwise, I'll see you guys on the flip side next time. Just gotta remember to commit this stuff. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching. I've been SolarLune, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side one more time. See ya!